Fam, so it's the 23rd anniversary of Snoop Dogg's No Limit Top Dogg album. So we definitely want to say salute to Snoop Dogg. It was a fire album, his actual fourth album and his second album on No Limit Records. It was released May 11th, 1999 through No Limit Records and Priority Records, and definitely received a lot of success. So Snoop Dogg released No Limit Top Dogg on May 11th, 1999, and the platinum album peaked at #1 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop Albums chart, and it had a lot of huge features, including Dr. Dre, Sticky Fingers, Mystical, Nate Dogg, Warren G, Mia X, Raphael Sadiq, Exhibit, and Jewell. So we definitely got a lot of legends on that one. You know, some of them no longer with us. More recently, Jewell, who was a great addition to this album. I always thought it was pretty dope seeing Jewell's name featured on the No Limit album, but she brought a lot of dope flavor to the song, Just Dippin'. Now for Snoop Dogg, this album will be one to solidify him as not only a top dog within No Limit, but a top dog within the hip hop game. Snoop had already found major success with his early career on Death Row Records, and after Doggy Style, he was slightly critiqued with his other album that he had released, The Dogfather, and then going on to release his first No Limit album, The Game Is To Be Sold Not Told. There was a lot of critics who felt it didn't quite fit with the sound that they was accustomed to with Snoop. They felt it was just different. So with that being said, on this album, Snoop was granted more creative freedom, which resulted in him being able to go back to some of that early Death Row sound and, you know, really some of those elements. So Snoop Dogg was quoted to say, "Peace sign me." So he had the right to dictate and direct me on the first album because he was bringing me out as a No Limit soldier to let me have creative control from the beginning. Wouldn't have been the smartest thing to do. So with this new freedom that he had on the second album, Snoop quickly brought in Dr. Dre. They worked together on this album, which was the first time they had worked together since Dre had left Death Row. So it was dope to hear them put that track together, and once again with Jewell featured on it, it really gave it that original Death Row element and feel. It also featured Warren G, Nate Dogg, rest in peace, DJ Quick, Raphael Sadiq, Sticky Fingers, and a whole plethora of others. I thought, you know, Dolomite being out there was pretty dope too. That was also tight, you know, having those Dolomite intros. I don't know if that was actually Rudy Ray Moore, but so the album had a lot of production by Meech Wells and Banks, a couple of KRC tracks, which had the first version of Down For My Ends featured on this album. Now we know when this album came out at the time, there was a lot of dissing. We mentioned on another video before, Death Row came out with their artist Top Dogg around the same time, and it dropped the Chronic 2000 and was dissing, you know, Snoop and stuff like that. So the first Down For My Ends was on this album, and we know the story behind that, how it kind of came together. So, you know, it had a few No Limit features, Silk on Gangsta Ride, which I thought was dope, but it didn't feature the Colonel himself, Master P, which would have become more of a prominent thing with No Limit at the time, even though it didn't feel like anything was missing that much, as like in terms of big star power, because Snoop being a big star himself and having other big stars on there and introducing new stars like Goldie Loc was pretty dope. I always thought the track 20 Minutes that with Goldie was tight, and Goldie Loc on the Ghetto Symphony with the No Limit Soldiers was also a tight track. Then we have the lead single, Bitch Please, which featured Exhibit and Nate Dogg, another dope spoken track. You know, great single. I really enjoyed that one. The video and stuff was tight too. And it also had a few other tracks like Snooper Fella, which was also done by Top Dogg on Death Row, taking the Dana Dane sample and once again making it funky and fresh. So what do you guys think of this album from Snoop Dogg, No Limit Top Dogg? Definitely one of his best albums, I would say. Went on to a string of popular releases after this and helped to reclaim back his notoriety as not only a G-Funk legend, but a West Coast king. So we definitely want to salute the album and the 23rd anniversary. And this one's going out to all our peeps out there online. Is your hookup, holla if you hear me.